Good morning, third graders. It's Mrs. Kenney. It is almost April vacation, and I've been thinking of you guys and hoping that everyone is doing well. I, of course, still really miss seeing your faces. Today, I'm just going to read you the rest of the mystery so we can find out who stole those stinky socks. And there aren't any questions today. I just want you to enjoy the rest of the story. I hope you have a really fantastic vacation next week, and I hope the weather is nice so we can get outside and do some fun things. I've been thinking of you, and I miss you very much. Here's the rest of the story. Bye. Okay, she started to walk away, then she turned back. I wish Coach hadn't pulled you off tomorrow's game. You're the best pitcher in the league. Dylan sighed. Not without my lucky socks. PJ shook her head. You and those socks, Dylan, you don't need luck. You just need to get your head back in the game. Dylan didn't answer. He just sat there scuffing a cleat in the dirt. Milo felt awful. He had been so sure they were about to nab the thief. If the Wildcats lost to the Eagles tomorrow, it would be all his fault. Maybe it was a Wildcat Willie after all, Jazz said as they left the field, or maybe it really was an eagle. But Chip said the thief was wearing a Wildcats baseball cap, Milo said. Just because he said it doesn't mean it's true. You mean Chip was lying? Milo thought. Could Chip be the thief? Maybe he was jealous of Thrillin' Dylan. Jazz shook her head. I mean, maybe Chip just didn't see exactly what he thought he saw. Jazz might be right, but if they couldn't trust what Chip told them about the thief, what did they have? Nothing at all. Chapter 9. Milo and Jazz sat glumly in the stands. The cheerleaders were clapping and yelling as Wildcat Willie did cartwheels on the field. At least Willie was happy. The way the game was going, he didn't have to worry about having to attend state finals. The substitute pitcher, Tim, was not doing too well. By the bottom of the fifth, the score was Eagles 7, Wildcats 2. An ambulance was parked at the far end of the field. What's that for? Milo asked. In case the Eagles die laughing at Dylan's sub? Jazz didn't even smile at his joke. Oh, they have an ambulance at all the games, just in case. She stared at the bench. Poor Dylan. Milo didn't want to think about Dylan or the socks. His very first case, and he had failed. His gaze wandered to the ambulance again. Ambulance, it said in big letters across the hood. Mirror writing. Just like when he had tried to read the cover of the magazine on Jazz's porch, only this time it was the other way around. The letters were painted backwards so the driver looking in the rearview mirror would see it the right way. Ambulance. Suddenly, a thought hit Milo like a baseball to the head. Looking in mirrors. That was it. Jazz, he said, what does Chip love to do? Play tennis. Besides that, she shrugged. I don't know. What? Chip loves to look at himself, Milo said. Whenever there's a mirror nearby, he looks in it. So? So there was a big mirror in the boys' locker room. What if he was looking in it when he saw the thief? Seeing Jazz's puzzled look, he pulled out his notebook. Borrowing her purple glitter pen, he wrote the substitute pitcher's name in big block letters. Tim. What does that spell? He asked her. Tim, of course. What is this, kindergarten? Milo wrote Mitt. How about that? He asked. She frowned. It doesn't spell anything. Yes, it does. It spells Mitt. Mitt has 2 T's. I know that, he said, and you know that, but does Chip the champ know that? Jazz stared at him, but she shook her head. Nobody could make a mistake like that. Milo thought about Chip globbing Mouse into his hair and grinned. Oh, yeah, he said. Somebody could. Together they ran down to the dugout where the coach was talking to the players. Maybe you should put Dylan in, PJ was saying. Tim looked angry. You can't take me out, coach. This is my chance to pitch. I won it fair and square. No, you didn't, Milo said. Everybody turned to look at him. You stole Dylan's lucky socks, he accused Tim. You wanted to mess up his pitching so Coach would put you in his place. Tim scowled. That's stupid. Not as stupid as a thief wearing a jacket with his name across the back, Jazz said. She smiled. We have an eyewitness. Chip saw you take the socks. All the players stared at Tim. Tim stared at Milo. His hands balled into fists. Milo took a step back. Then Tim's shoulders slumped. He kicked at the dirt on the dugout floor. I was going to give him back after the game. Now everyone looked at Dylan. Dylan was quiet for a moment. Then, after a glance at PJ, he laughed. They're all yours, Tim, he said. What do I need a pair of stinky old socks? What do I need with a pair of stinky old socks? Coach, put me in. Chapter 10. After the game, Dylan insisted on taking Milo and Jazz to Beulah's for Sundays. When they walked in, a cheer went up. Wildcat Willie stopped by their booth out of costume. "Nice game, Thrillin' Dylan. Way to show those eagles." He thumped him on the shoulder. Milo recognized the red-headed girl with Willie. "Hey, where's Chip?" "Chip the chump," she laughed. "Probably home kissing himself in the mirror. I thought I'd try spending some time with somebody who looks at me." Smiling, the two walked off. PJ slid into a booth with a burger and fries. "I knew you'd pull it off," she said to Dylan. Dylan grinned at Jazz and Milo. "I owe it all to these two here. The Sherlocks of socks." Milo's the one who solved the mystery. Jazz pointed her spoon at him. "You know, for a kid who rolls around in dumpsters and tries to tie Velcro shoes, you're pretty smart." He laughed. Jazz really wasn't such a know-it-all. Besides, without her help, he'd probably be stuck inside that dumpster with spaghetti in his hair. Actually, he was starting to like having her around. He was even getting used to all the purple. When Dylan went off to order another sundae, Jazz said, "So, the case of the stinky socks is closed." She looked a little sad. "Almost," Milo said. "We still need to write to Dash and tell him how we solved the mystery." Jazz looked at him. "We?" He grinned. "Hey, every detective needs a partner, right?" "Definitely." Jazz smiled back at him. "So," partner Jazz says, "what do you think our next case will be?" "I don't know. Maybe we'll break a secret spy code or find some buried pirate loot. In this town?" He reached for his sundae and shrugged. "Dash says you never know when a new case will fall." Splat! They stared at each other. Most of the melted sundae had landed on Milo. Jazz wiped a drip off her nose. "Will fall right in your lap," she finished. Yeah." Handing him a napkin, she joked, "Hey, it's not the first time we've been in a sticky situation." Milo laughed. "Good point. And you know what?" "What?" "Something tells me it won't be the last." Super sleuthing strategies. A few days after Milo and Jazz wrote to Dash Marlowe, a letter arrived in the mail. "Greetings, Milo and Jazz. Nice work. No doubt about it, you're ready for another case, but while you wait for one to come along, why not pump up your sleuthing skills? These mini mysteries and puzzles will give your brain the kind of workout Dylan gave the Eagles. Some of these mysteries are from my own files. Happy detecting, Dash Marlowe." Here are a few brain stretches to warm you up. In case you get stumped, I put the answers, well, I don't have to tell you where. You're a detective. Number 1, why are manhole covers round? Number 2, what do the numbers 11, 69, and 88 all have in common? 3, some months have 31 days. How many have 28? And then down here you can see they tell the answers down here. Answer. The first, oh nope, that's something different. So I'll just leave these last few pages up for you. If you want to pause and do some of the activities, I think it would be easier for you to do them on your own than for me to read them. So if you want to pause and read some of these things, the answers are upside down underneath. You see right here. Here's another logic puzzle, a little mystery. Again, the answers are down here. So pause it if you want to try some of those. And there's the answer for the questions that we did together. All right, there we go. If you liked those Milo and Jazz mysteries, there are a bunch more of those on Epic. So if you go to getepic.com and you log in, I think your teachers have sent you some login information. If you like these stories, just type in the search bar Milo and Jazz mysteries and some more will come up. I'm sure that you could read them on your own. Hope you're doing well. I miss you and I will send you a message after vacation. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.